Hello. Good morning. There we go. Sorry, 1 second.
It's all right.
I'm mute the other stream. Okay, cool. Hey everyone. Happy Sunday. Welcome to SciVive Sunday with Hexologist.
Yep, I am here.
Woo! Super
How's everybody
excited. Let's see. Who's up in the chat? Who's up in the chat already? Chris Side Effects says he's being drug out of the house. Tell Anna I said hi. I know who drags him out of the house. Explosive Artist is here.
Side effects. It's funny seeing people trying to pronounce his name.
Yeah, it is.
I'm sure I messed it up too.
Yeah, I've known him for years from living in Austin. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we're good friends. We go way back. We are both Larry or Kool-Aid's generals. Is what he call us?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crypto Kool-Aid's kids.
Kool-Aid, sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, and like same thing. Like we all knew each other through the Austin drum and bass scene.
Oh, that's awesome.
Dancing and all that stuff. And more people filing in here. John J UK, Tin Top, D Raj. What's up?
I'm pretty sure I tweeted it. Let me see if I at least retweeted it. Let me see.
Yeah, I see you did. You done did. It's all good. Okay. I'm a little streamer. Okay. People will show up eventually. I get replays. Yeah. It's fun. Yeah, man. So this whole series that I'm doing right now on SciVive, I'm just trying to get a lot of people who have been through multiple bear markets and talk to them about what is that like? Because this is my first bear market. I did buy some crypto back in 2017, but I didn't touch it. I didn't look at it. Right. I had no clue what I was doing. It was just like, here,
it was just
toss some coins at something. Yeah. So this is definitely the first time that I'm involved in a community and learning about what it means to hold through all of this. I feel very secure and I've not had any issue like sentimentally, like I feel very happy still with what I've done because I feel like I did enough research at the beginning that I know what we hold and I know what it's about. And I know that, really Richard is doing all that he can and is gonna make sure that whatever he launches is fucking perfect. Like, so.
Well, on that, I mean, this is my first bear market as a community member. Like in the last bear market, I was just some guy that just like sat on the sidelines, kind of like, like just a regular Joe Blow. I didn't have a stream. I didn't stream about anything. Thank heavens, because I'm glad that there would be some, people would have some dirt on me if I did, because I was into every coin ever. It was like, oh, this is the one that altcoin daily shilling today. Well, I'm buying that one.
Gotcha.
So I'm glad I wasn't in there back in the day because I didn't know enough about crypto, and I think that's what a lot of these guys, they don't know enough about crypto. They get into something that somebody else is shilling them. They don't realize that these things mostly go down 99%, and most of them don't even recover. I don't know if those coins that you're talking about that you held onto, they probably, maybe they recovered a little bit, but they probably didn't come back.
It was all Kool-Aid's advice back in that day. So it was good stuff. But I think what happened is it all went way up and I didn't I wasn't watching it. And then it just kind of went back down. I didn't lose anything. It just went right back to where it was.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's my whole story. I bought Bitcoin when it was like $900 and then did the whole trading game for 2 years. And I had the exact same amount of Bitcoin I had at the end of the bear market, that I had at the start, or when I bought it at $900. But I was also, funneling money that I was getting into the, for my job and stuff into buying more Bitcoin. And by the end of it, it was like, well, I have the exact same. I wish I wouldn't have been trading, which is great advice because I learned that from Richard. It's like not to be a trader. And man, it's paid off in more ways than one. I mean, it was a blessing finding Richard for real back in 2017, I believe.
Yeah. So tell me about that. Tell me how you found Richard.
So Richard, Bitcoin, and this is the first one that I know, but I was subscribed to him before this. This is just the first time that I remember I actually was following Richard's advice. Was Richard was making tutorial on how to claim your Bitcoin Cash. He made a tutorial because I held Bitcoin and you're going to get a free airdrop, but it was going to, it was a fork, not an airdrop. of Bitcoin Cash, and he was making sure that if like Bitcoin Cash was malicious, that you could claim your Bitcoin Cash this way, and he did like a whole tutorial on it. And so I was like, oh, this guy's really smart. And then I was like, oh, he's putting out free advice. He seemed like really, a rich dude that kind of had all of the he was quirky. I like quirky people. Especially if they're smart. Like quirky people and smartness is like I'm drawn to those kind of people.
Yep.
Because they're, I don't know, they're unusual, and I like unusual things. But like, I don't know how you could hate the guy. Like, I mean, I guess I could tell how people could hate him, but. I mean, my parents met Richard, and they were like, what are you invested in here?
Oh, nice.
But they also only met him because they were in Europe because of Richard, for the Hex meetup. So it's like, you're here because of this man here. It's like you would have never been to Europe, and you're 60 years old, or how they're like 50, 60, it's like, and you've never been here, but here's the guy that, I followed him, and then now we are financially secure enough to take you guys on a trip. Big Kurkowski actually paid for them to
nice. That guy, love that dude. I met him for the first time at the Cubs game. It was great.
Oh yeah, he's an awesome dude. He's such a cool dude. I've really appreciated that guy. So, but yeah, I mean, it was. So then I started following him. Really in 2018 is when Bitcoin Hex was coming out, and I don't remember. I think it was May of 2018 that he announced it, and by August I messaged him on Twitter, and I said, when Bitcoin Hex, and then immediately got blocked off of Twitter from Richard. Like people don't realize, nice. People are like, I got blocked by Richard, like messaging me, and it's like, dude, don't take it personally. He blocked me back in the day. Like sometimes, like as somebody that has followers now, I totally understand why you block people, because it's like it's mentally draining when you get so many people that it's like, you don't know who's trolling you and who's actually like being, like actually facetious. Wanting. Yeah. It's like, dude, are you being real, or are you just and I'm sure he was having a bad day or something, or 30 people messaged him that day, and he just blocked me. But, I messaged him a couple months later, and it's like, hey, could you unblock me? And he unblocked me. Nice. And I started streaming. I actually started streaming a year before Hex came out. I was trying to do I was pumping my referral link for probably like 2 or 3 episodes, but then I just kind of fell off, and because it's same with Pulse. I mean, just imagine if Pulse wasn't out and there was no Hex, he didn't have a track record. It was like, okay, sure, dude. Like whenever this thing comes out, But I do remember in 2019 telling my wife, I was like, I'm. When Hex comes out, we're gonna be rich, kind of thing. And it's I just had a feeling that Richard was actually gonna put out what he, I never like, I don't know, I never fell for anybody's like schemes or anything. I was more of like, okay, I'm gonna buy it and then just sell it when it goes up. That was kind of the thing. But Richard, he seemed like he had an actual plan, and to make people rich. And here we are. We're doing good.
So how did you begin streaming? Like that's also something I really love to promote on my shows, is just like, if you're thinking of getting into this and you feel like you have a voice, like we do need more people in the community. Yeah. Like we can always use, because everyone's going to have a different kind of audience, right? And we all have different personalities to bring to the table. So what inspired you to start streaming?
Well, back in the day, I just didn't see anybody else streaming, and there's two. So first off, there was the referral link for the adoption amplifier. You got like an extra, I can't remember what it was, 10% or 20%, and it was crazy amounts. Like if somebody bought 1 million Hex back in the day off the adoption amplifier, you got 200,000 Hex, like straight into your And so like, wow, yeah. So it was like, and back then it was like $20, but it was, for me, it was like, hey, $20, I'm not going to be able to put that into there. It was like, so I saw a lot of people or nobody promoting their bags, and everybody kind of like scared that, the SEC was coming after us. There was a lot of that FUD. Like there was a lot of FUD back in the day. Like, But I just kept going with it. I trusted Richard that he knew what he was doing. I talked with Richard a couple times, messaging him back and forth and be like, hey, I'm just scared that the SEC is going to show up in my house. And he's like, no, dude, that's not what the SEC even does, bro. He's like, it's not even, he's like, they're not a criminal organization that's like going to show up for your house. They'll like, they're a civil organization that's gonna, civilly sue you or something like that. You're not gonna go to jail or anything like that. So I was actually really scared there for a while, but he put my because we had a good run for a couple weeks, and then there was a guy that fudded it that said he was calling the SEC on all of us, and he was like messaging us, and it was like, if you don't stop promoting it, and then like people adding the SEC on Twitter. So it was scary, but I don't know. I just had this feeling that it wasn't like Richard knew what he's doing more than these guys that were just trying to FUD. So I just kept doing it. And I mean, what inspired me was just, I don't know, like PewDiePie kind of characters. I liked him, and he did. I think he streamed for like 10 years straight or something like that. Maybe not that. Maybe not.
Sounds right though. He's like like I don't know if is he still streaming? Does he do that?
No, he streams in post, but he doesn't do it like daily. But I like that.
He was like the highest paid streamer at one point, right?
Well, he had like the most followers, so he had like 100 million, and all like he things that I learned from him were just like consistency, just do it daily or do it at a time. It doesn't matter when you do it. If you do it at a time that everybody knows to show up and come and find you, it's like a TV show. If your TV show is just at sporadic times and it just comes on, nobody's gonna be able to find you. It's like
that's good to hear.
Whenever you find out.
Because I do it on days. Like I stream every Wednesday and every Sunday, but I usually will alter the time based on who my guest is and what time works best for them. Right. So maybe.
I would just set up the time. I would just set up a time and be like, this is our times and this is kind of when we do it. Because I mean, and it is kind of based on guests. If you have guests on, it is kind of like you can't really dictate when they are able, because you could have, if Richard Hart's going to come on, you're like, no, you're going to be here at 1. And he's like, no, I can't do that. It's like, well, sorry, I'm going to have to pass on that. So it does with guests. But if you're doing it single, like all by yourself and stuff like I do, it's like that's where I streamed every day at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, which is right when the adoption amplifier, or now it's kind of when the date ends,
the payout and all that.
The payout ends every day. So that's when I streamed, and so we could see the adoption amplifier. It was fun. It was a small community. I only had like 2 or 3 people showing up to my streams every single day. And then, 2 or 3 turned into 10, turned into 100. And we were getting like 200, 300 people before YouTube kicked me off.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
How long did you get banned for?
My channel got deleted.
Have to redo? Oh my gosh.
My channel, I had like 5, maybe 6,000 subscribers. And then they deleted my channel and they didn't give it back. And Richard, I was like, dude, what should I do? And he was like, just start up a new one, which I didn't. I went to DLive. It's another streaming platform. And so we went to like the very next day, because I didn't stop streaming. I had to figure it out. So the very next day I went to DLive. We had probably like 200 people watching back in the day. And then Matt, 200 people watching on YouTube. And then we went to DLive, and literally it was 200 people watching on DLive. So it was really inspiring to see the community kind of like, have my back, kind of, where it was like, hey, we like this guy. So I just kept it. It was so 11. So they would give me lemons. So the lemons were like it was like you could tip lemons. It was called like it was worth like 2 cents or something. So we call it the lemon party. Which don't Google lemon party.
That I do know. That's why I was confused. Because
we call it a lemon party, and people that are out of the know are like, "What the heck are these guys up to?" It's like, "Oh yeah, we're having lemon parties every day on DLive." I'm like, "What are these guys?" I think I said something at the year anniversary, the 2-year anniversary. I was like, "Lemons on me at the lemon party," and most people were like, "What?"
I think that's when I had heard that term before, but that was the first time I heard about all that was
Yeah.
the 2 year.
So it was kind of an innuendo, but it was like that's what you tipped lemons and ice cream cones, and then there was this thing called a ninja guinea, and it was a ninjet. It was just I don't know. It was really fun. It was really fun. It was like I don't know what it was, but follow Hexo wherever he went. Yeah, exactly. David was there the entire time, but I mean, it was great. We and then we just kept on going. Big payday happened, and after 572 days straight of streaming, I just kind of took a break. So
dang, yeah, smart. I think you took a break like right when I probably started streaming, because I think I caught you live maybe once or twice, and then you just like disappeared.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, bye.
I was it's for me, it's the consistency as well. And this is for anything in my life, that if I start doing something at random times and just starting it up, I don't keep doing it. Like I'm like, whatever. And then it's working out or doing, eating healthy. It's kind of like you eat the one bad meal, and then like 2 days later, you're like, I ate that one bad meal. There's pizza over there. Like, why not? And so it's like, this just happens in my life. So I have to be consistent. That's why I'm doing the whole like 555 days straight, where it's like, I'm going to be consistent with it. And, awesome, that's my streaming history, I guess.
Stream story.
Yeah.
Sweet. So the main topic, like I said, I want to talk about is just SciViving through the bear market, right? And I think a lot of what I feel like I've seen in this community is people like us who are doing the streaming and showing our faces and showing up. I think that we actually have a lot to do with going through the bear market. Like, that's why I'm just like, I just want to keep doing it, right? Yeah. Especially for me, because I don't talk about price or charts or any of that stuff, right? So it's a lot easier for me to come up with content and to talk about things, because I'm just diving into SciVive, or I'm trying to uplift other women in the community. But I guess what kind of advice do you want to give to people who maybe this is their first bear market, who are just kind of like you were saying that Richard didn't have a track record at first, right? And like you kind of fell off the map for a little bit, but then you jump back in. What kind of words of wisdom or different things would you want to tell people who are just down, right? Maybe they bought the top and now they're just like, well, that was all my money, like
Yeah, well, if you have a stream of income, this is a great time to dollar cost average in. It's always best to be buying, especially if you bought the top. It's like, if you dollar cost average in right now, you're going to lower your price point that you got in. So let's say you bought it, 10 cents, and you're buying here at 3 cents, but you bought $1,000 both at the same. Well, it's going to average out to about like 7.5 cents or 6 cents that you bought at. And same with buying. If you bought all the way at 50 cents, you buy in at 3 cents, now you're going to get way more hex than you bought at that time period. But if you're really scared, like, honestly, the hex was designed for bear markets and for just leaving it. Like, it is designed to just have you stake it and walk away. You don't have to attend any of the streams. You don't have to do any of this stuff. We're streaming. I feel like you two, SJ, was just like, we're streaming to help the community and uplift people, but you don't have to attend any of these. Like, this is more of like, we want to help people and get the word out. But if you're staked and you're not buying anymore and you're not planning on selling for 2 more
years,
go live
your life.
Exactly. Just live your life. Don't even worry about the price. Like, don't do any of that, because you are getting, when you're checking the price every single day and it's staying the same. I mean, if you look for the first year, guys, it was between 0.003 and like 1 penny for a year, and it would go up and then it would come back down, and it would go up and it'd come back down, and then it would go up to 1.5 cents and then come back down to 0.003. And it's like, it did that for an entire year. And we still streamed, we still were out. I was still out there, but it was like, if you would have just lived your life, for another 2 years, there's so many people that sold in between those. But if you would have bought it at 0.003, waited 2 years, and then it's at 30 cents or at 50 cents or whatever the price is, then you can, when the hype starts coming back, and I'm sure that you're checking on it at least once a week or something like that, even if you go away, like, just check the price every 2 weeks instead of like checking it all the time. Because I'm not saying that I don't do that. I check the price all the
Right.
time. It's stupid. I'm like, oh yeah, here it is. But I've kind of got a little bit more skin in the game. I got to keep up with it since I'm streaming and stuff. But other than that, I would just tell people like, just, there is like light at the end of the tunnel always. And every single day that goes by, we're getting closer to pulse chain, and we're getting closer to the bear market being over. And really, it's like you have not lost any of your money until you've sold. So unless you sell, like you haven't lost $1. Like you bought, you have your hex and it's making you interest, and you could dollar cost average in, or you could just sit on it, but you haven't lost anything.
So I'm just kind of curious. I don't remember if I got to ask RG3 this, but for someone who hasn't been in the crypto market, that long, are the cycles of the bear and bull markets, are they predictable in any way? Like, and I guess that's kind of a fiat question too. Like, does the stock, I feel like the stock market, at least what I think I've heard, is that, there's like a cycle, right? That it goes during a certain time.
Yeah.
But does crypto also follow that kind of trend?
Yeah. The thing with crypto now is it usually does, but we also have never seen a recession or a depression in the regular fiat world since crypto's been around. So, Bitcoin was made in 2009, and 2008 was the last kind of crisis that we had, financial crisis that we had. So it's never actually had to endure an actual bear market in the stocks or the fiat world. So this is all new territory. So this could, usually what we see is a year-long bear market, a year and a half, and then a 2 or 3 year bull cycle is what we've what's been usual. And if you look at it, Bitcoin's been down for probably 9 months. So it's like we could be on the tail end of it, but who knows? We do need a capitulation candle, I think, in Bitcoin, where Richard's predicting 11,000 or under. We probably will end up seeing something like that before the end. But who knows? It could start going straight up right now and go past 60,000 or whatever, 70,000. So I don't think anybody knows, but it's all like, Richard is the best predictor. And that was one of the reasons why I started, listening to him a lot, because I subscribe to his Telegram channel where he gives the calls, and I'm like, this dude's always right, dude. Like back in 2018, I'm like, he did call the top back then, and it's like, okay, and at the time when you're holding Bitcoin, you just want him to shut up. You're just like, shut up, dude. You're really gonna really FUD these bags, but it's like he's telling the truth.
So smart.
Like, hey, I should have listened to him. I should have, he's got different things that you're not seeing. Like he was seeing the leverage, how many people were leveraged or something. I can't remember what it was back in 2017, but yeah, it was just, that's where I kind of humbled myself and was like, yeah, I need to listen to this guy instead of being egotistical and be like, oh, I know what's going on. It's my first, I've been in for a year. I know what's going on. It's like, no, this guy knows exactly what's going on. So yeah.
Sweet. So outside of crypto, what advice has Richard given you through SciVive or just through watching him that has affected your life? Or has there anything that you've changed because Richard was like, do this or do that?
Yeah, well, there's lots, but my biggest one was probably video games. So it's not that I don't play video games at all, but I don't play them to any extent. I see how they could ruin people's lives. And I have, she talked before the show, is like, I used to play Lord of the Rings online, which is like a World of Warcraft, and wasted tons of hours in this stupid thing in my prime, where it's like, you look back at it now, and before Richard, I probably would have been like, oh, like it wouldn't have been that big of a deal that I wasted all this time. But now that I see it, I'm like, dang, I did waste a lot of time in doing all this kind of nonsense that I would have I could have been doing, building something or whatever, fulfilling my dreams, but I was playing a game instead. But I don't think that games are bad. I just think that have a time limit.
Moderate. Yeah. I had actually mentioned, like I said, we were talking before. I've talked about this a little bit before, but I played World of Warcraft, and I'll just never forget hitting /played and seeing that I had played over 365 days. That's 360. That's a year of being logged into a video game, like living in this virtual world, and it trips me out that there's all this, oh gosh, I can't, like Web3, where they're talking about buying property within, and just things like that, like this whole metaverse and things starting to go the whole like Ready Player One kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be a trip.
It is, but like what Richard says, which this is another thing, is that like games are designed to go away. They're designed to be like, I played it and then it goes away. People don't continue to just play a thing, that's why they have to come up with expansion packs and this, and it's like, oh, it's a new character, because people get bored of games and then it's all over. And these Web3 kind of Decentraland kind of things, they do go away, and they're just like, you spent thousands of, not millions of dollars on NFT kind of things. And I'm no hater of NFTs. I think that they have their place, but like not for millions of dollars. Like if you're buying a JPEG from somebody that you're like, hey, I want to promote or help this guy. If you came out with an NFT and it was like $10, it's like, hey, this is going to help me support me, this how I'm doing my art, and this is how I want to, like, hey, that is awesome. But when they're like millions of dollars, it's like, okay, this is stupid. You're actually buying into a JPEG for that much, huh? Like how, right? Copy paste, like this, it's weird. But hey, I'm not gonna hate on. I'm sure in next bull market, I think that we'll have the NFT space will look completely different. We'll have something. Somebody will innovate, and that's the cool thing, because we've seen it. The ICOs back in 2017 were garbage, and now this time it's like, hey, there's some actual innovation where people are actually innovating. Hex being one of these things, and Pulse Chain, and we are innovating the space, but just realize that 99.9% of everything out there is probably just gonna not be here the next time that there's a bull market. So that's my biggest, people come to me all the time, what should I get into? It's like, just buy Hex, dude. It's literally the only thing that has really, there's got some things that's like ADA or whatever, Cardano. I can't remember some other ones, but it's like, these things don't have that big of staying power. Cardano's been in development for like 5 years since I've been in, and it's like, dude, are these guys gonna finish it, or it's just? So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's one of the things that I traded for Hex.
Yeah, really.
I had some ADA, like Cardano. I think Ripple.
Oh like yeah. You gotta get that Ripple. Yeah, I had the Ripple. I was all like, it's gonna be the world banks. The banks are going to use it. Then you really start to think, it's like, why wouldn't the banks just create their own instead of buying these goofballs product? I don't get it.
NFTs. Where was it? Hold on, I had a thought. I lost it.
Sorry.
Oh man. Right. That's what I was going to say. I am super fortunate that Hex was my way into crypto. I mean, like I said, like other than that one time I bought all those little things, I was just like, I'm not worried about it. But just knowing that, I think it was perfect for me, because at the time I had sold my home. This is before I knew Hex existed. Right. And I sold it because I was tired of paying my student loan. I was like, I am done. Like, I don't want to. And I was renting the house out anyways. I'm a gypsy. So like I travel a lot all the time. Right. And I'd been renting the house out, and I was just like, all right, I just want to be done with this and like not have that responsibility anymore. Paid off my debt. And then I started looking into how to set myself up for the future. I was like, I want to be able to, retire like early and just live this like fun travel life that and I'm a very minimal person. Like I live very simply, very minimalistically. So I never really like live above my means. Right. So I'm like, trying to calculate things and figure out, okay, like how much do I need to put into a 401k? And then what if I put some in this high yield savings account?
Yeah. With like 0.35% APY.
Exactly.
Yeah, put like $10 million in there to get like anything.
And then on top of that, because of the inflation, all that stuff just sitting there losing value. And it was just, at the same time, I had looked into an options trading course. because I was like, okay, well, maybe I can, learn a little bit about this and make some money
Trading,
doing trading. And thank goodness again for Crypto Kool-Aid, because he seriously, he swooped in and he was like, what are you doing? Check out Hex. Hey, look into Hex. Hey, listen to these guys. And Whale's only one. It was perfect content for me listening to Whales, because he's in the fiat finance world. And yeah, exactly. And because I had just started learning about options trading, he was speaking my language. Right. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. This makes sense. This makes way more sense.
Right.
So all of the money that I had set aside to put in options trading, and then this little bit that I'd put aside to put into like a 401k, I was like, nope, Hex.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what was your first impressions of Richard when you saw him? Where did he?
I thought he was so silly, because the first time I didn't pay attention to Richard for the first probably like 4 or 5 months. I listened to Whales Only. I listened to Coffee. Did
you even know about Richard?
I knew he existed. Yeah, but I didn't seek out his content in any way, shape, or form. I was just like, because I was jiving with what these other influencers were saying, and it made a lot of sense.
Did you know that he called the Bitcoin top?
I didn't. No, I didn't. Did he? Does he have the world's largest diamond?
Did you know that he?
How many $1 million in watches?
Yeah. Did you know he has $9 million in watches?
But when I started to watch him, he had just started doing the unboxing videos.
Oh yeah, okay, I know.
So that was like the first impressions I had of Richard was his unboxing these things. I'm just like,
he was like,
what is this dude? Who is he? Why? And the thing is, though, and I wonder, I'm hopeful that more people kind of have the train of thought that I did, because when I saw that and I saw him and I had already learned all that I had about Hex, I was like, well, all of these people are very much like approving of this man and what he's doing. And, why else would we all be invested in this coin if this guy is actually a scammer or something, right? So actually, after those unboxing videos, did a Google search. That wretched article that keeps popping up came up, the one that's just all about his scams and this and that.
Right.
And I was just like, well, who is this dude? Like, what is this guy all about? So that led me to learn more about him, which led me to SciVive.
Right.
And man, once I got into that, and I heard the like computer audio one, and I'm super into audiobooks. I love listening to them. Like I said, I travel a lot, so that's a huge thing that I love doing.
Right.
And I was like, man, I really want to learn about this guy, but I'm not going to sit down and read this, and this version is just really hard to listen to. So that's why I did it. I was like, man, I'm going to read it anyways. I might as well just record myself doing it. Right. So that was actually the first time I read SciVive. Me recording it. That's all. And I need to go back and actually listen to myself.
Oh, it sounds good. I've listened to it like a few times. Not only that, but it's like a lot of us, like, I don't like reading either. I like audiobooks. Mm-hmm. I go on like an hour and a half walk every day, and it's really hard for me to sit down. I got a kid and everything and read a book. But yeah, it sounds really good. I'm glad that somebody actually took the time to actually do all of it, because it's a lot of reading. It's not like just a little bit. And and I mean, one thing Richard needs to re-edit his book. You know what I mean? Because it's very like compartmentalized. It's like he goes from one thing to one thing to one thing, and it's like I wish he would elaborate into what he's talking about sometimes, or maybe that's not he elaborates, but it's more of like, I don't know. It's just it is choppy. It's just everywhere.
It's all over. Thing. Yeah.
It's like this is money, but it's like this is this paragraph is about money. This paragraph, it's like, wait a second.
Something else.
Yeah. So it's like,
what were we talking about?
What you did was great. Yeah. What you did was great, but it's like, I think he needs to, and he always talks about it, how he needs to finish it and stuff like that. And needs to read it. So I guess you'll have to reread it after.
I'm planning on it. So I actually I just finished editing Fix the World, which is now called 15 Ways to Fix the World. I got Richard's approval on that. Yeah. Nice. So 15 Ways to Fix the World the document is almost done. I'm going to do one more pass as I'm reading it. So as I'm recording it, I'm going to do like one last, just make sure everything's like really well done, and then send it to Richard to have him post it in the SciVive chat, like just like SciVive is. Yeah. And I honestly, like, I'm really excited to get that out, because not a lot of people even know that it exists.
Yeah, that's one that I haven't even read because it was like
it's wretched. It's so much worse than SciVive. Yeah, it was wretched trying to like figure out like
real hard
what goes where. Yeah, and I don't know if you ever saw the first conversation I had with Richard was at the Hexpo Vegas, and that's when he found out that I was doing SciVive, and he goes, "Hey, yeah, let me get you with the original editor, and you guys figure things out." So I did eventually get to talk to the original editor, and the thing is that they're both, that person and Richard, just busy, right? They got shit they're doing, like, they've got their lives that they're living. And there were some things that I felt like I needed clarity on. There's a lot of parts in Fix the World that say inaudible, or like, it's just like, like these little chunks. So what I ended up doing is I went through it several times. I asked a couple questions to either or both of these guys, didn't really get any responses. And eventually I realized, you know what? I think that they trust me enough to do this. And I'm not going to change the content in any way, right? Like what I really did is cleaned it up, made it make sense in terms of chapters. And then anything that was like a broken link or an unfinished thought, I took stuff out because it didn't change the context. It didn't change the message of the book. And on top of that, I added a section about Hex because he was speaking about Bitcoin at the time. Right. And so that's still there, but I think I changed the title to like Memoirs of a Bitcoin Maxi or something like that for that section. And then I added a whole section about Hex and how Hex works. And all of it is taken from Richard speaking. So I just, grabbed a few different streams and transcribed it.
Yeah, transcribed. That's awesome. Yeah,
I was hoping. Oh, go ahead.
Did you get to listen to any of his stuff because he did it all on like maybe not tape, but he like recorded himself and then the guy edited it, I'm guessing. Did you listen to any of it, or did
there was like one I got access to, but that was the hard part, is like the editor, he's got all those recordings, and like I said, he's super busy. Like I was just like, man, I wish I could. There's some that I wanted to listen to for either clarity of like what the words were that he was saying, or for clarity of cadence, like where the periods went and like commas. Like the way Richard talks, it's a lot of run on. I also took out a bunch of like, so, and like all his filler words, because it's all being transcribed from audio. So I made it read more like a book.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome that you're doing that. Because
I was hoping to get it done by the Pulse conference that Maddie Allen is doing. I think I'll at least be able, I want to read like 5 minutes from it. I'm going to like read the intro and like maybe another little section. And I was hoping to like have it like posted that day or that night, but we'll see. It's like,
a lot of
I got a lot of other stuff going on.
It's a lot of work.
But compared to SciVive, it's actually, it's short. It's as if it was one very long chapter of SciVive.
Oh, okay.
So 15 Ways to Fix the World it's like almost 100 pages. And there's a couple chapters in SciVive that are over 100 pages. So I could do it in one day. I could probably record it if I spent like the whole day doing it.
Huh. Well, that sounds like fun. Maybe not fun doing all the legwork, but
correction. It took a while to get it to, a readable point, but totally worth it. And it excites me because I really think that Richard it feels like he's kind of at this like almost like a turning point with what he's doing with his marketing.
Right.
I've been seeing a lot of like, I love his very short, sweet tweets that he's been doing. Like go get it, like go get your day. Like I can't remember what exactly it was, but like he's just like being really positive. And I was like, that's what I want to see more of. And that's what I hope that, bringing this content out is going to allow more people to see that side of him and to see how brilliant he is. He's so brilliant. It blows my mind. And it's like he's a diamond, just like his Enigma diamond, the Hex.com diamond, right? People are only seeing one facet, right, of who he is through the outrage marketing, right? But he's a multifaceted man, and he's got all this other stuff going on below that surface level. Stuff.
Well, I think that it's kind of like, he's doing the Logan Paul kind of thing. Like I don't know why I know who Logan Paul is, but it was because of his outrage marketing. Like,
I don't know
do
who
you?
Logan Paul is.
Oh, you don't know who he is? He was like this
No.
kid. I think he was a Disney kid, or his brother was a Disney kid, but they're YouTube stars. I never watched any of his stuff, but it would always be like on somebody else's channel where it was hate for him because he was doing something stupid. He would do like, these stupid, had Lamborghinis, or he went into like there's a suicide forest in Japan, and he like recorded it and was like joking around and stuff like that, and that got him like huge attention,
Dang.
because he got banned off of YouTube for a while and stuff,
Oh,
like
wow.
like that, which is, obviously he probably should have, but it gets him attention, and he's doing the outreach marketing, and I think he knows but now he's changed that Logan Paul to where he's
Okay.
more approachable. He seems like a normal person, and I think Richard's kind of hopefully gonna do that. It's like this outrage marketing is all fun, but then at some point he turns it around, and it's like now he's just the normal guy, because he was just a normal guy for a long time.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then he's the outreach marketer, where everybody's like, who is this guy? I've been following him for 2 years, 3 years, and he's like completely changed. And it's like, I get what he's doing. I get it.
Yeah.
He's cool in my book. I like Richard. But if I was out of the know or whatever, I would be like,
then you
I
would
would
just
be like, what is going on with this guy? I used to like him.
Peacock.
Yeah. Oh, I hate him now. There are a lot of people, but it is a lot of hate gets in the news, and look at he's already been in the news a few times. And
yeah, man, I was so disappointed with the questions on that Fox interview. I was like, God damn, of all the things that you can ask, like, ugh.
But I mean, but I'm glad that he did it, because now it's on a world stage that he's answered those questions.
Yep.
And so when people are like, oh, I'm going to look at this, it's like he answered that. It's like, oh, well, it's what, $500? Cool. Or it's like, like, I feel like it was actually beneficial. Like, it is lame to hear those questions where it's like, you didn't even talk about Hex, bro. Like, you did it, this thing went up 10,000. But I liked it because, like, if you are researching Hex, those two questions are the first ones that are going to come up anyways. You're going to be like, this guy is a scammer, and then people come to you and be like, he's a scammer. It's like, well, look, it's even on the news. He defends himself on the news about why he's not a scammer. So I think it was awful questioning, and it was like lazy journalism. But I think ultimately, it was good because people like controversy anyway. So
yeah. Let's say what's up to a few people real quick. Motley.
All right.
Thanks for all your support, Motley. You tune into me every now and then. That just makes my heart so happy.
Molly's awesome. Molly's
a
good dude. Yeah.
Sweet dude. Let's see, Mr. Prophet says, what's up? I'm going to read this little comment here. It says, be nice with the audiobook when you read it at certain segments. You could interview Richard about the segments to add extra layers to the audiobook. I definitely have that idea. Not necessarily within the audiobook, but I would love to interview Richard. I haven't asked him about it yet. I want to definitely have like a set list of questions. I think he would do it, especially because it's like, just me promoting SciVive all the time and things like that. It would be a very different interview. It's a lot of questions that he would not have been asked before. So that is real smart, Retrotastic. And then Motley was agreeing with you. Richard has switched gears with his marketing styles over the years. Yeah. I missed the top hat and the pink curtains.
I know. Me too.
After 15 ways to fix the world, will I do Twilight? So what does that have to do with anything? Vampires. All right. And then Molly says, would have been nice if you brought up the $27 million for charity in rebuttal. Yeah. To the $500 scams. That would have been nice. But I'm sure he was like nervous and, like hard to think about.
Yeah.
What is this? Hexplosive Artist says, fun show. Tell the one about when you fell out of a helicopter.
So Hexplosive Artist and me were in the Marines together.
Oh, I just saw you stream with him and Rags, yeah?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
We stream every Thursday together. And I fell out of a helicopter in the Marines when we were jumping out of them one time onto a building. We had to like jump out of a rope. And there's like these, they're thick ropes, and you got it's called what is it called? Something like I can't remember. But you jump out of it, and there's a hell hole. It's called the hell hole, and it's like this little square, and you're supposed to jump out with your gun and everything pointed down. Well, instead of having the M16, which is like 6 or 8 pounds or something like that, and it's tiny, I have a machine gun because I was a machine gunner, which is
Okay.
like 4 feet tall. And I go to jump out of it, and it gets caught in this hole. And the instructors, the people that are like getting people to go down, are supposed to kick the weapon out of the hole to get it to keep going. And so instead of kicking a 6 or 7 pound gun, they kicked a 40-pound gun, and I flipped out and flew all the way down to the ground. About I can't even remember, 20 or 30 feet.
Oh my God.
It's a fast rope.
Break
Yeah,
anything?
fast roping. No, I didn't break anything. My knees still hurt from it though.
Resilient.
6.3-inch thick rope.
Oh, Motley.
That's great. That's great.
Funny.
Yeah. Pretty big ropes.
Sweet. Well, I know you got your show coming up in a little bit here, so I won't keep you much longer. But is there anything else that you want to share? I think, again, specifically about like just getting through this bear market, or give us some hopium, Hexo. Hopium us up. Oh, did he freeze? Hexo just get rugged? Bueller? Can you guys hear me? I'm here. Are you here? Someone let me know in the chat if you can hear me still. Because I see me talking, but Hexo is frozen. What is going on? He rugged. Okay. Well then, there you go. That's fine. That's funny. I was gonna wrap it up anyways. So that works out. Exo, thanks for being my guest. If you see this, I'm not mad about it. Thanks y'all. Yeah. So yeah, that was awesome. Really good to talk to Hexo for a hot minute. Super cool dude. I was telling, or I think I mentioned when I hit him up on Twitter to come onto the stream, I was like, hey man, we were in Vegas together, but we were just like ships in the night. And that was actually my first time ever having a conversation with him. So super, yeah, Hexo had too much opium. Exactly. And outro. I don't have an outro. I need to work on that. But I will say thank you, everyone, for tuning in for another SciVive Sunday. Thanks again, Hexo, for coming on and giving us some, good tips and tricks on getting through the bear market. I'm hoping to have some other people. Hold on, he's back.
I don't know what's going on with my computer.
That's okay.
It keeps restarting, so I'm correct.
It's all good. You got like a sentence or two of hopium to leave the folks with?
Yeah, just keep going, guys. Just keep going. Every day is closer to pulse chain. Don't worry about the price. And bear markets come to an end at some point. So be ready. Don't be the guy that's buying the tops and then selling the bottoms. Don't be an idiot.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Well, yeah, I was thanking you without you being there, but thanks again for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Love the picture of Richard on your wall back there.
You like it?
That's so wonderful.
I'm going for the outrage marketing as well. Like, the doctor outfit was always the outrage marketing. So I feel like Richard saw that it actually somewhat works with me, because I was like,
nice.
You know what? I'm going to dress up like a doctor and get this guy. So I think it worked a little bit at least.
Excellent. All right, man. Well, thank you again, and have a good rest of your week. Thanks everyone for stopping in.
Take care.
Yeah,
See you later, Ashley.
Bye.